you know anyone that would like to learn more about real estate and you think could benefit from this live, please feel free and share the live with them. We are on all major platforms on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, X, Twitch.com, and Instagram as well, where I have the live chat. So, again, thank you so much for joining, and I hope that you all are having a great evening. This weekend, like I was telling Instagram, is going to be a great weekend for open houses. It is going to be full of them. Basically, they have turned this now from open house weekend into open house week. So everything from 414 all the way through 420 is going to be basically a open house extravaganza where we're going to be showing off all our listings everywhere. So everyone is going to be showing off their listings. So it's going to be very exciting to see who's got what this year, especially since it's been such a interesting year already. And also keep an eye out for special offers at Long and Foster Properties that might have flyers that you could scan. So make sure to keep an eye out for those if you do go to an open house or are in the area of an open house that's a Long and Foster open house. Just a little tidbit for you guys. I hope you all are doing well again for the third time while I'm waiting for you guys to come in. And that's it. We're starting. Number one, understanding market conditions. In a seller's market, you may need more to make a stronger above ask offer quickly to stand out. While in a buyer's market, you might have more room to negotiate on price and terms. We are currently in a seller's market. Yet we are in a very tricky market because we have buyers that have seen 2% interest rates as of recent. And I have a recent story that's up that shows the average range in the last 15 years since it's been recorded of interest rates. And it shows how deep they have gone down and how they have risen back up. And now the rumor is that they might go up one more time. So it's not to say that, hey, it's impossible to buy. It's just you have to understand your market. When it's a buyer's market, sellers usually have a lot of competition on the market. They have to do a lot of renovations or they have to bring concessions to the table to try to make the offer work. But when it comes to a seller's market, really, the seller has the bull by the horns. You usually have multiple offers, and you have to make your offer the cleanest possible. And what I mean by that is usually as few contingencies as possible. Number two, determining your price range. Always start with a pre-approval from your lender. That this not only sets your budget, but also shows sellers you're a serious and prepared buyer. Eric Johnson at Prosperity Mortgage is your guy. Go over there, check him out. Say, hey, Hugo sent me. I just want to check my numbers. It's free, no obligation. He's got an app. My link in my Instagram has a link to for his app, so you can download it and check it out as well and do your numbers and start working on this information. This is legitimately the only brokerage that lets you do everything within one company. We have mortgage, title, insurance, and real estate. We have every component that you need. We also have things that most brokerages don't even get involved with, which is Inspect, which is the home inspection site, and it's just amazing. It's incredible to see these all-in-one services under the Long and Foster brand and company under home services. So again, I tend to digress, but more than anything, you have to understand your market and what is happening in your particular area. There are certain brokerages that have a bigger footprint than others. That's why I kind of bring that whole thing about, what is really in a name. But at the end of the day, let me just keep on going. Number three, researching the property. A thorough inspection can save you thousands in unexpected repairs. Always go beyond the surface and invest in a professional to examine the property before making an offer. This is where you have to have a real estate professional. You have to have a realtor that's going to be able to work with you, and you'll be able to ask these questions confidently so that you'll get the answers that you need so that you can make a informed decision. Is it going to be perfect? Probably not. Is it going to be the ideal situation? Probably not. But at the end of the day, the best you can do is try to avoid unexpected repairs. Yes, repairs can be very pricey. And the biggest complaint I've seen online, and the biggest thing that people bring up to me is like, oh, you're lying to people because you're telling people that home ownership is more affordable when renting is more affordable. At the end of the day, the truth is that you're going to be owning the place. And that's really where it starts and ends. Yes, it's more expensive, but it does cost to be the boss. And there is this added benefit that comes with it. And it's just something that it's the price of doing business. I don't know what to tell you. There's no way to be a tenant and have the same power, at least that I know of. If anyone out there knows of anything better, please inform me. Number 4, the importance of a good deposit. A strong earnest money deposit, typically 1 to 3% of the purchase price, shows the seller you're committed and serious about your offer. Now, the deposit 1 to 3% is, something I just write up there. It can go as high as 10%, 50%. It really varies on the situation with the client. Are they that financially committed to the deal or not? Usually, more deposit means that they're less likely to walk out of the deal. They usually want to get it done. So, a higher deposit always looks great because remember, there are only key points where someone can get out without risking the deposit. After those points, there really is a big risk that you could lose your deposit, or at least a portion of your deposit. And this is all something you have to keep in mind. No one wants to go into real estate losing money, giving money away because of a poor offer, or poor representation. Because usually at that point, you have made a decision, or something has gone nuclear. Something has happened, and something has gotten out of hand. And I can't speak for every situation, obviously, but yeah, communication can go a long way. And my managers taught me that a phone call can do a lot. So it's always better to prevent than lament, and you have to account for everything. It's really the best that you can do is try to know that, hey, if there are issues with this property, I know that I'm not taking a home inspection. Can I live with that? If a home inspection is something important for you, then get yourself a home inspector that works with a reputable brand and make it happen, because it's peace of mind is what this is all about. Yeah, at the end of the day, there's no money in the world that can bring you back peace of mind. Number 5, crafting your offer letter. Personalize your offer letter by sharing what specifically draws you to the home. A heartfelt message can make your offer stand out, especially in a competitive market. Now, I will preface this again by saying that you should very much be careful with what are known as love letters. Love letters are very heartfelt, sentimental messages that are sent to with an offer, and can violate fair housing because of the terms that might be inside of them. There's nothing that prevents you from giving them to your realtor, but your realtor and the listing agent are truly in no obligation to convey them to the owner. Um, it's just really one of those things that we are on the side of caution. At least I personally have always told my clients to stick to the contract. At the end of the day, the contract is one of those things that everyone has the opportunity to understand and see. And there's no question that, hey, the best offer won. It's really, I haven't heard of anyone really accepting. emotional cover letters. But again, each region and each district is different. So possibly in a smaller town, it could be something that could work. This is a majority situation, very generalized for the majority of markets. Um, but at least from my common practice, I've never really conveyed a love letter or any offer letter like that. What I've done is I've prepared and presented the letter of my client's offer and really set it up a big presentation for it, try to make it as nice as possible. Sometimes going as far as messaging or calling and presenting it over the phone. So that's a little bit more on the realtor side though than something that we can do. But if you're going to be representing yourself, that's obviously something that you would find yourself doing. Number six, contingencies to consider. While it's wise to protect your interests with contingencies, understand that in a hot market, minimizing them can make your offer more appealing to sellers. Contingencies are your clauses, your conditions that make your offer a little bit more protected, a little bit more secure for you, but can delay the process a little bit. Home inspections can take anywhere from 1 to 10 days, and the financing can take anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. So it really does depend on what the situation is, who your partners are. And when you work with companies that are all unified, it's a lot easier, obviously. But more than anything, your contingencies are your safeguards. If they are your deal breakers, hold firm to them. What can I tell you? I've had the pleasure of working with a great couple where the gentleman told me that his deal breaker was the home inspection. He wanted to have a home inspection. We did a home inspection and we fought for this place. And he felt so much better about how much he paid at the end of the day because he had his home inspection and he knew that he probably wouldn't have to change anything for a long time, that it was one of these things that it made sense to him. It was a sure deal. Without the home inspection, it would have been very doubtful if he would have bought the property at all, let alone for the price that he did. And this was at the heat of the market, at a time when a lot of people were having difficulty finding places. He and his fiance at the time did it. So I'm so proud of them, and they're doing so well in the home. Number seven, negotiating tactics. Start the offer slightly lower than what you're willing to pay, giving you some wiggle room to negotiate, but always be respectful and realistic to avoid alienating the seller. Again, this is generalized knowledge for a generalized audience. Every time is different, every location is different. I'm a fan of highest and best. It's going to be what it's going to be. It's such a seller's market right now, and it probably will be for such a long time to come, that you have to be ready to put it out there. If you're willing to spend this much money, put it out there. Now, don't break the bank. Don't go, getting into debt. Stick to your budget. And that's why we say, again, always set up the budget first. But that's the most important thing, sticking to your budget and shooting your shot. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. And I don't like leaving doubt on the table. So writing two offers could take too much time, in the sense that by the time the listing agent gets back to me on the reply, if they get back to me on the reply, if they're thorough enough to get back to me on the reply, then I'm kind of left in a position where I have to rewrite this offer, and they might have gotten another offer, multiple offers that might have been higher than mine. And I'm left writing an offer that's a little bit higher when people have already blown my offer out of the water, so to speak. That's more in the weeds, so to speak, of what the tactics can look like once you get into the offer process. That's why I like to always suggest that you go for your highest offer, your best contingency plan, and ask the questions that you need. I know it's difficult, I know it's hard, but there are ways to get home inspections in and get your appraisals in and get everything you want. It's just you have to negotiate it. And you have to work with your realtor and make sure that they know that those are your deal breakers. Number 8, understand seller's motivations. If seller is relocating for a job, needs to move quickly, they might be more receptive to an offer that promises a faster closing. A faster closing obviously would be ideal in this situation, but there is sometimes the opposite where it could take longer to sell a property or for them to move. And I think more than anything, you'll see a lot of that coming up. A lot of people taking on these rent backs, which are time periods that a person stays in the property after the property has been sold. And when I say person, I mean the old seller stays in the property for a time period that's predetermined, and then they move out. There's, usually some inspection and some walkthrough, and, it's this period of time that allows for the seller to find their own home after they've sold theirs because they needed the money from their home to then purchase the new home. So it can get complicated. It's kind of a domino effect if, these sales don't happen at a certain timeline. So know the seller's motivations. And sometimes you can get that information with your realtor. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes listing agents are very tight lipped about what they have going on. And sometimes they do have the privilege to disclose. Remember, when you're on the selling side, you can tell your listing agent, hey, I want you to disclose X, Y, and Z. Or, hey, I don't want you to disclose X, Y, and Z. And, as long as it doesn't harm anyone and it's legal, then there's no reason why your agent shouldn't have a problem keeping your privacy. Number 9, the role of a real estate agent. Your real estate agent is your best resource for crafting a competitive offer. They understand local market trends and can guide you through negotiations. Just this little bit tidbit that I've been telling you, this little, small presentation, there's so many scenarios, so many things. Sometimes relationships play a role where you might know someone and they might know you from somewhere else. Or, I've known people that have recognized me from online and social media work, and they just say, hey, check out this offer. And it works. I don't know, it's not a privileged thing. It's really not. It's you know who that is. You know how they work. It's I've worked with them before. It's a confidence, and I really do feel that if it's in the best interest of the seller, then all the better. It really should be a win-win for everybody. And the role of the real estate agent is really to represent your best interests. So make sure you're clear with your realtor about your best interests, about what you're looking for. And if you feel that that's not happening, feel free and find a new realtor or real estate agent or real estate professional, whatever you want to call us. Because at the end of the day, you you could fall into so many pitfalls when it comes to this sort of transaction. It goes without saying that you should get some professional help. It's a big transaction. There's a lot of paperwork. There are a lot of things you can get swept away in, a lot of things that you might not know that you might sign without knowing, a lot of things to remember, and a lot of things that you're not told. Even myself, I will walk you through a lot of it, but I really will not be able to just teach you about every single thing. At the end of the day, it really will not give us enough time. But I'm always here for you. So this is the thing where you have to find a realtor that you're able to reach out to, that you'll be able to touch base with and stay in contact with. Any one of my clients can call me and say, hey, I need help with X, Y, and Z, this and this. What's your suggestion? What is your next move when moving? What should I do if I'm planning to buy a home? It's really it's almost a yearly checkup. It's almost like I'm a doctor in a sense, because you have to go in and talk to them and ask them how their financial plan is and how their financial health is, and give them a diagnosis and work with them, because it's all internal work. I might want the best for someone, but I can't want it better or more than someone wants it for themselves. And the moment I understood that, a lot of things changed. So, number 10, preparing for possible outcomes. Be prepared for all responses. If your offer is countered, review the terms carefully and be ready to act quickly. Remember, not every negotiation results in a deal, and it's important to stay level headed. I know, it hurts. It's hard. Believe me, I've had many sleepless nights with offers that I thought were shoo-ins and that would have won, or deals that should have gone through, and cases of people that I don't think I could ever help. And it's hard. It's hard. For my end, I have those tough news to break, but I always preface it by telling you that, hey, this is not the end. And then I always end cap it by reminding you that we will keep looking. And it's really all you can do. It's not the one. And it's for whatever reason. And there will be more. Every day there are new properties on the market. So you can't get sad. You can't get depressed. You can't get down, because then it really won't happen. I've never seen someone that's been down on the process get their home. I've only seen people positive and willing and ready and able and moving forward get that. And especially right now, people that are selling their homes that need to sell their homes, they're not really choosing to sell their homes. We're having an older population that's aging in place, so things are going to be moving fast and for probably top dollar. But we will see how everything plays out. The best thing you can do is stay on top of your information and follow me. If you're just joining us tonight, we are talking about winning strategies, how to make a winning offer on your dream home. Number one was understanding your market. It's crucial. You have to understand your local market. Number two is determining your price range. What's your budget? And sticking to it regardless of what the lender offers you. Number three, researching the property, making sure that you are um, not being surprised by unexpected repairs. Do you need a home inspection? Is that a deal breaker for you? Number four, the importance of a good deposit. Anywhere from 1% to 3% is the general good rule of thumb. Higher deposits means more seriousness, because remember, you could lose that. Number five, crafting your offer letter. Be it you writing a cover letter or be it your agent writing a cover letter to introduce you, you might want to add something of yourself into that, depending on your particular market and depending on your particular case. Number six, contingencies to consider. While it's wise to protect your interests with contingencies, understand in a hard market, minimizing them can make your offer more appealing to sellers. In other words, highest and best and quickest and fastest. And if you don't have that, then cash. Number seven, negotiating tactics. Make sure that you have a plan and a strategy when it comes to your negotiating. And number eight, understanding seller motivations. Understand what the seller's driving factor is. Are they needing to move fast? Do they need a rent back? What's their motivation? Number nine, the role of the real estate agent. Get out there with realtors and talk to them. What is that they are going to bring to the table in this offer plan, and work with them, because that's really what they're there for. Number 10, prepare for all outcomes. Stay positive. This might not all end in a deal. So if it goes south, don't fret. There are more houses. There are always new properties out there. Stay positive. I really do appreciate you all tuning in, and I will catch you all tomorrow for another live. And again, thank you so much for your time. It really does mean a lot. Even if it's one person that watches, it really does mean a lot. So thank you. Have a great weekend if I don't see you tomorrow, because I know you have a life. And yeah, take care. I will talk to you tomorrow, and see you soon.